Morning, classmates. Did anybody see the latest episode of Blackish?
Maybe you're being a little too sensitive.
I'm being too sensitive?
Yeah.
That's your takeaway?
Yeah, sometimes things are just what they are on face value. Okay?
That good for you response, either because you are in the position you're in. For Rainbow, it was because of the school she went to, because of how you speak, because of what you're able to do. It's almost this doubt that millions of black people do that same thing, speak that same way, carry themselves that same way every day. It's this, ooh, you're an exception. When we know the reality is we're not an exception. We are the rule. There are millions upon millions of African Americans with impressive jobs, impressive titles, impressive vocabulary. Caucasian America is not the standard. That we all then have to see if we can measure up to or meet on some level. So one thing I want to talk about today, though, is how to handle yourself in those type of situations. So what Rainbow did was she just felt some kind of way. She didn't respond. She didn't check her. She didn't even ask her, well, what do you mean good for me? Like, where are you coming from with that statement? She just knew what she meant. She accepted it, and she went home and talked about it later. So is that the right response? Is the right response to always let them make it? Or should you check them? Should you, in their face, in their moment, as they give you that undercover racism, because it's no longer blatant, you N-word, you know what I mean? You unqualified black girl, that's not what you're given. Especially if you're in corporate America on a day-to-day basis, you're given that subtle racism, that undercover racism. So should you respond in kind, or should you walk away? So this is my personal opinion about how to respond in those situations. One, walk into the situation knowing that you don't have to defend who you are. That's not what you're here for. That even if you do decide to say something, you don't have to defend who you are, what you've done, and what you can do to some stranger based on their biases and their racism. You don't have to. So don't go into the situation feeling like you need to check somebody. Now, I've been in corporate America for about 10 years, and I like to consider myself, I was a freshman in corporate America, then I became a sophomore, then a junior and a senior. The more experience I had in my field, the more I knew about what I was doing, the more confidence I had in myself, and the more confidence I had in how I was going to handle those situations. I was a lot more comfortable, I'm going to say, checking somebody 8 years down the road than I was year one. Year one, I wasn't checking anybody. I didn't feel comfortable enough in that environment, in that situation as a minority to do so. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. Now, year 8, I feel very comfortable. I feel established. I feel correct in my response. By professionally checking somebody. One, don't let your emotions rule the conversation. Do not let your emotions rule the conversation. I get it. They just disrespected you. I get it. They testing you. I get all that. But that's not the point why you need to check them, because they disrespected you or because they testing you. No, you need to check them so that you don't have to have this conversation again, and they know you're not the one. So my suggestion is, when you feel comfortable, when you feel like you are in control of your emotions and your emotions aren't controlling you, then you can address it. Excuse me, what did you mean good for me? Good for all students who went to this university? We're good for all of us, or good for me especially because there's some doubt as to my achievement level? Please specify. Provide clarity. I'm just unclear as to what your statement really meant. Usually, because most of these people are cowards, because they want to make you feel some kind of way and then immediately want to play the victim when you come for them. So 9 times out of 10, they're not going to continue to challenge you, but they are going to recall that you addressed it, that you brought it up, that you said something, you didn't just let it slide. So next time you might not let it slide again. Next time you might have another comment for that ass. but stay professional. Don't let them take you out of your element. It's a couple things you got to know off top. Off top, I'm at work. Off top, I'm at work. And don't take any of their baggage home with you. What are you taking it home for? What they say in reality has no real weight, no real bearing on your day-to-day life. On when you go home and take off your clothes and take off your bra and, cook dinner for your family, what they say has no real bearing. So don't take it home. Let it go. Leave it there. That's their issues. You've addressed it. You've questioned it. Oh, okay, that's what you meant? Okay, good to know. Got it. Have a great day, Sally. And keep pushing. Don't give Sally any power. Don't give her any ammunition to be like, oh my God. Don't give it to her, because that's what she's looking for. But if you feel comfortable enough that, one, your emotions aren't in control, you are, and that you're going to professionally ask her a few questions, make her feel uncomfortable, and hopefully, and if you're lucky, you guys will find a common ground. You'll really have a conversation with somebody who's speaking just based on their experience, because that's where we all come from. We all come from our experiences. And some people's experiences is racism. Some people grew up in that. That's what they know. You might even get lucky and have a real conversation, or you might have just let her know, I'm not the one. Not today, not tomorrow, not any day, but have a blessed day.